This is my tutorial on array lists for AP Computer Science. What are array lists exactly? They are a type of list, but they behave somewhat like arrays. Array lists combine some of the most useful features from arrays and lists. Like lists, they store objects, and like arrays, they store indexed data. A very useful difference between the two is that arrays have a fixed size, while array lists do not, which also comes from being a list. When you initialize an array, you must give it a permanent size. On the contrary, the size of an array list can be changed at any time. This makes them very useful for things like reading in data when you do not know how much data you will have. This is how you declare an array list. Notice that the array list is created with objects, not primitive data. So here, I use integer instead of int. Array lists, with their fluid size, work somewhat differently from arrays. They have methods like add and remove. They add and remove values from the array list, respectively. These methods are a way to change the size of the array list. They will create new indices if needed, and remove ones that are not. Arrays pass data very simply, just using the name of the array and square brackets with an index. Contrastingly, array lists pass data with a method. The ArrayList.get method works the same way as getting data from a regular array. Just give it an index and it will return a value. For example, this array list, called ExampleList, has two values in it, 17 at the index of 0 and 23 at the index of 1. When we want to print the value at the index of 1, we use system.out.print ExampleList.get1. This will print 23. We have now learned the basics of using array lists. Remember, they store objects, not primitive data, and are indexed with a fluid size. They also use methods to access data. I hope you have learned a lot about array lists.